change tack now because the main reason that we got Peter on, me and Matt, was because we were wanting to address a subject which has been a hot topic in boxing over the last couple of weeks in British boxing. And it's a subject that recurs regularly. And that really is the issue of how much can we reasonably expect fighters to give in the ring? How far can we expect them to go with regard to the danger that they put themselves in? And obviously this has been provoked by the Daniel Dubois-Joe Joyce fight, and there was a lot of debate following that. What we're not doing today, and I don't want to be in any way confused about this or for people to be unclear, we are not going to pick through individual examples and decide he quit, he didn't, she quit, she didn't, because that, for me, that kind of approach, that really is the problem, because this is not a binary issue. It's not a simple yes or no. It's not black and white. There are so many layers to this for a number of different reasons. And I do think that kind of polarity that people tend to go in for now, not just in sport and not just in conversations about sport, but about anything really, is problematic. Everybody seems to want to be either on one side or the other. Either you support something or you don't. Either somebody's the best or they're shit. And it's not, life isn't as simple as that, quite simply. So this is, it's a complex issue. Andy Lee spoke well about it at the weekend when he referred to MMA and the fact that in MMA you tap out to prevent serious injury, to basically further the rest of your career, and nobody has a problem with that. In other sports, all athletes have to manage pain, but if they feel a pain that they know means that they have sustained a serious injury, and they know that if they continue, there will be serious repercussions, it might shorten their career, it might put them out for a spell, then they will stop. They will stop immediately, and they'll be criticised heavily if they don't stop. But boxing is different, and you can't apply the same logic and rationality to boxing that you can to other sports. And that's what makes this hard, because boxers don't have that same logic and rationale. They don't follow those same logical protocols as the likes of me. If they did, they wouldn't do it. It's as simple as that. If fighters thought that way, nobody would ever do it. Nobody would ever get in the ring and take those risks. So it's crucial to get the fighters' viewpoint from that, and the trainers too, because the trainers not in there taking punches, but they have the fighters' welfare in their hands, and that's an enormous responsibility. But again, it's not as simple as soon as you think they might be getting hurt, pull them out. That's no good. You can't do that, because they want to win, and also the trainer wants to win for the fighter, not at the expense of their health, but there will be times when the fighter will think they haven't got any more left, and the trainer will think, yes, you have. Yes, you have. It's their job to try and elevate them to greater heights and make them dig deeper than they possibly think they can. So that's the kind of fine line they have to tread. So all in all, as I say, there's a lot involved. There's a lot to talk about. First question then, and I'll come to you with this one, Peter. Do you think that there is a need now for the boxing public to change their ideas when it comes to what we should expect from fighters? Is this go out on your shield idea? Fighters should be carried out rather than be counted out. Is that out of date now? Is that unreasonable to expect? Oh, we can't hear you,
Peter.
You mean now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I'm going to be black and white with it. So, and I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. MMA and boxing is totally different, so there's no comparison whatsoever. You're going to get your arm snapped in two. So yeah, you're going to pop out of it, aren't you? You're going to do that. So that's a sensible option. So that's not boxing. Look, boxers are a unique sport. That's why I'm involved in it, because it's a gladiatorial sport, and it is. You're going out there. So if you're training fighters then and you say to them, listen, if you're feeling, when you don't feel so good, this, that, and the other, take a knee. And if you get it and, you just don't feel good, take a knee and get out of there. Then to me, it's shithouse material. You're not going to be a world champion, as simple as that. If you got that attitude and mindset and you're told, listen, I'm not into all the liberal bollocks anyway. Yeah, we're into a fighting man sport, and that's what we're here to do. 300 Spartans, yeah, when all the millions of Persians come running over the hill, they turn away and fuck off and run a mile and shit themselves. No, they've gone down in history. Yeah, the legends, aren't they? And forever being implanted there in history. Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson. None of them shithouses, are they? All great warriors of the sport. So, people involved in fighting and everything else, that's it. The referee's in there to make that decision, not the fighter. You got a corner there and you got a referee there. You just, you keep going. Look at Yui against Pulev. The referee come over after the second round. He said, "You've got one more round. I'm going to stop it. This is very bad." Yeah, because his eyelid flapped over his eye, so Kerry Cage couldn't get it to hold up. He couldn't put it back up. He kept flapping open. So I said to Kerry, I said, "Just stop the bleeding." I said, "Clean it up." Yeah, and he goes out there and he done another 10 rounds. Very easily could have pulled him out of the fight, but in the 8th, you hit him with the right hand and shook Pulev. If the referee hadn't come and said, "Look, I'm going to stop it," and I said to you, "Go out and try and get rid of him because you've got a round left," you shot his bolt. But there's no time did we think about pulling him out of it. So I look, if a fighter's got shooting pains coming through his eye and this and that, I can understand. But that clearly wasn't shown to me in that fight. Another thing you got to look at, and I'm not criticising him one at all. He's 23 years of age. It was a step too high for him, and there was no plan B there. He was looking for the knockout. It didn't come, and he got sickened with that Joe Joyce jab. And that jab of Joe Joyce's is an horrific jab. He's got a fantastic jab. So, and he puts all of 18 stone 7 behind that jab. So it's like being constantly hit with a steady right hand. So I can understand he got demoralised, but look, he got jabbed, he turned away, he went on one knee, and he didn't say into the corner before that. I don't know what he was saying in the corner, but I can quite assure you I know Martin Bowers well. And if he said, "I've got excruciating pain running through my eye," yeah, Martin Bowers would have pulled it. If my son said that to me in the corner Saturday, "Dad, I've got pains running through the back of my mind, back of my brain, and it's this, that, and the other, I'm going to stop it immediately. I've got my son's health to think about." But if nobody's saying anything to me and it's a swelled eye, get out there, get it done. And also, getting up, he stayed on that floor, he's in his senses, and he got up at 10 to be counted out. Why did he not do it in the corner? So we can all look at all of this. And I think that young fella will grow from that, and he can only improve. And this is why young fighters sometimes can be put in over the head. But for him, he can come back again. But let's not beat around the bush. For me, a fighter's got to get in there. He's got to be prepared to put his life on the line. He's got to give it all. Because to be a world champion, that's how you've got to be. You can't be a world champion saying, "Oh, if I'm getting it a bit sticky in here, I'm going to come up with an injury and get out of it." That's not the way this job works. That's not why people pay, to watch our sport. Our sport is a realistic sport. And yeah, it is. You've got your life on the line, but that's it. We all know that when you get a professional license. My son's in it. I'm going to look after him to the best of my ability. But I'm not going to go in there with a yellow feather up my back thinking if he's going to get hurt, I'm pulling him out. No, what I'm going to say is, yeah, man up, get out there and get the job done. But I've never had that conversation because it's built into my kids from being babies. Yeah, that's it. That's the way we are. You're a fighting man, you're a fighting man.
Peter,
if you're not a fighting man, get out the kitchen, innit?
Peter, if you have to say that, it's probably already too late, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You never have to say it. You're right, Matt. But you're a fighter yourself. You've been in some sticky situations. Have you ever thought to yourself, "I'm going to get out of here"? No. You haven't, have you? Well, there you are.